Welcome to Ill Films. I'm your host, Shy Ill, and we are back at it. Episode 5 of Monsters, the Lyle Erik Menendez Story. They spilled all the beans in episode 4, so I'm not too sure where episode 5 is going to take us. Let's get it.
Terrible, you're locked up in here. How you doing in here?
Not great.
But you're eating now, yeah?
Yeah.
That milk wasn't going to cut it, boy.
I don't know whether they moved him or out of nowhere, so I've just been feeling kind of...
Oh, the pocket he was holding left.
Lyle told you about his experience.
No view of her face. Just complete focus on him, his story, his anxiety.
However bad he had it, he feels you had it worse.
Long runs of dialogue and not a frame of her face.
Where should I start?
I know, it's awful.
I always felt like Lyle was my protector.
Long scene, no cuts, nothing. Good shit.
It didn't start out bad.
I could be sitting here thinking this is a very profound shot. How they haven't shown her face, how they've been camera fixed on him. And it probably the actress couldn't show up that day. They wanted to shoot the scene. Got her standing in there.
All the other stuff hadn't started yet.
That camera done crept so slow I didn't even notice. Did they blow the budget on all of the cars and mansions and parties? Because it looks like this episode's going to be in this room. No second takes, man.
There were 4 different kinds of... with my dad. Nice.
Yo, this is getting crazy. This conversation's getting crazy. These revelations are a little too crazy.
When he did it to me, that was... doing that to him felt really dirty.
Yeah.
And they'd go on for a long time. The nice sex sessions. Even though it felt dirty, it was also like I was the center of the world. The objects were to get me ready. Lyle and I realized that when we finally...
It's just getting worse and worse. The closer the camera gets, the worse and worse the details get.
That was just what my life was like. Yeah, and you just survive, I guess.
But they don't.
To make it taste better.
And what was rough sex like?
Bro, what is this? Like, at some point, you're doing too much.
Like he won't stop. You have to just try to get through it.
This feels weird to me, though. Like, they went too long telling the story. Like, we didn't hear, a lot of it in the last episode. And it just reminds me of how much in Beetlejuice, the new joint, they paid homage to that chomo that couldn't be in the movie because he was a chomo. At what point, how many of these weirdos not listening to this in a different context? Too much, if you ask me.
That's what you do to someone you hate, you know? Sometimes it was what he would say that would somehow hurt even more. Like this is a man who did such amazing stuff, you know? To have that thought, like it wasn't the rough sex and the pins and the rope that were the torture.
This is coming off like chomo fantasy fiction, Hollywood shit.
That's why I don't want to be here all alone, not without Lyle not here, and my friend gone now.
You're in a county jail. You ain't even made it to prison yet.
I'm just blown away by you, Erik Menendez.
You don't.
And I know there's going to be people that disagree with me, of course. And they're going to say this is, depicting a kid bearing his soul, telling his story. All right, cool. We got the point in the first 5 minutes.
I'm not gonna make this about me, but, my father was a fucking son of a bitch.
Way to not make it about yourself, shorty. Dragon lady.
Where was your mother?
The most impressive part of this is that this is one continuous acting scene from beginning to end. The entire episode is one shot, one scene, one performance between 2 people. That's dope. I like that. Fun. Long shot. Closes in on him eventually. Great. But it's just a lot.
I was coming between them. She would do the inspections. She was terrified of AIDS. If one of Dad's girlfriends had something.
Why would she think you would get AIDS? And frankly, I don't like your mother.
Yeah, but...
And to have not intervened?
Yes,
That's it, Dragon Lady.
It's just where I'm coming from.
Got his acting in, that's for sure.
Stop being real.
You are real.
Stop saying that.
You can't relate, lady.
I am the hurt man.
What is the hurt man?
It's me. And it's never gonna end. And it's never gonna not hurt. I shot my mom in the face. And my dad, I think. That's not a normal thing you do.
Say to my dad, I think. Because they was blasting everywhere. Bang, bang, bang.
I will never really know who I am if I don't get out of here.
You never got out. Where do I even start with this one? So many things about the episode that I really liked. It's probably the first time. Not sure if I've ever seen it before. I've seen long scenes, but not sure if I've ever seen an entire episode, one take, one long shot, 2 actors, No chance at a second take. Full deal like that. That was impressive. He got his acting on. He hit his tears when he was supposed to hit his tears. They closed in from the front door all the way up into his face. Impressive on everybody's part. What I wasn't impressed with was the just beating of the details, just beating a dead horse with the details. At some points it felt like chomo fantasy fiction. The parts that had substance, the parts that had actual feelings, emotions attached that were connected to the plot of their story, that's cool. Details, cool, swing through them one time. But over and over and over and over again, it just felt like he was doing too much. That said, not sure that we learned too much other than the ruthlessness of the situation, but that's something that we already knew. Feels like they saved a lot of money on this episode, and it felt like filler. Again, maybe if it was a shorter episode with more of those poignant pieces together and less of the details over and over and over again, I wouldn't be so mad at it. I just hope episode 6 ain't, the camera on Lyle's face and slowly pull it back for the whole episode in one fell swoop, with details being beaten ahead over and over and over again. Again, I'm just here to give you my natural reaction to it. That was my natural reaction. It wasn't bad. It wasn't throwaway. The parts that were poignant to the story were good and poignant to the story. The acting was on point. The directing was on point. I just feel like the details were over-announced. With that said, make sure you join me for episode 6. Peace.